It's the early way, yeah. 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 What's up? I'm Early Earl. I thank y'all for hearing these YouTube streets and coming on down here to the Early Way. I'm back with another Reddit Out Loud, and y'all know this is where we pull stories and questions from Reddit.com. We read them out loud, we give our thoughts and opinions, or we give our advice, or we just laugh at them because you know some of these stories be crazy as hell. Y'all tune in with me. And we have our first Reddit Out Loud, and it says, "Am I the asshole for not forgiving my stepson quickly?" Well, let's see. I have been married to Rob for 5 years. He has 2 children, Emma and Mike, 14 female and 16-year-old male. I'm black and they're white. Well, okay. 2 years ago, they lost their mother. She died and they started staying with us full time. Before, it was only weekends. My relationship with Emma is great. We are not mother/daughter, but I love her and we have great times. With Mike, he made it very clear that I would never be his mother or stepmother, just his father's wife. We're not close and we only talk the basic, but at least he respects me. Well, do he? Well, do he respect you really? This week, my husband was busy at work and I had to pick up Emma and Mike from extracurricular activities. Thursday, I went to pick up Mike, and for the first time, I found a spot close to the exit. When he saw me, he turned to his friends and said quietly, "I'm going, my maid has arrived." He said quietly, but I have excellent hearing, a fact that everyone at home knows except him because we don't talk. When he came in, I asked him why he called me maid, and he replied, "I'm not going to call you stepmother or mother." And I continued, "But why your maid and not anything else?" And he was quiet. Later, I told Rob what happened, and he talked to Mike about how wrong it was, how racist it was, and how insulted I felt. Mike immediately came to apologize, saying he hadn't thought that way and didn't mean to be racist. I said okay, but that attitude had hurt me because it's one thing to not accept me into the family, it's another thing to call me maid. He's been trying to compensate by talking to me and trying to help me with some things, but I'm keeping my distance. Today, Rob talked to me saying that I was being too hard on Mike and that he's trying everything he can to make things right and is genuinely sorry, but I'm ignoring him. I replied that him being sorry for what he did doesn't change what happened and how humiliated I felt hearing that. I'm not ready to forgive for now, and it serves a lesson for him. Hurting people has consequences, and that's right. Hurting people does have consequences. Rob said I'm being harsh, and it could be a moment of reapproach between us, learning, and I'm wasting it. Am I the asshole? No, you're not the asshole. Like you said, he made it very clear that you would not be his mother or stepmother, but just his father's wife. Already he's coming in with disrespect. Mike knew exactly what he said and the ill intent behind it. He meant it. He knew it was wrong too because he said it quietly amongst his friends. And I can guarantee you that that wasn't the first time saying you are the maid or even his first time saying a racial remark. I don't blame you for keeping your distance. I would do the same thing. You want me? You will not see me cooking and cleaning and doing the dishes or, anything helping him when he think I'm his maid. It don't go like that. He has to learn that an apology doesn't reset things and turn things back to normal. It takes time for a person to move past, things. It takes time for, a person to move on, child or not. But eventually, things would turn around, I hope. And as for your husband, tell him to sit this one out. Tell him to sit this one out. Just this round, because how are you being harsh by ignoring him? Just because you are an adult and he's a child doesn't mean you have to automatically respond in a way that suits him. Your husband will never know or completely understand how you feel, so he needs to just take a back seat to this one. You are not the asshole. And next! And our next Reddit Out Loud says, "My boss shamed and mocked me in front of everyone." Well, why your boss did that? Well, let's see. Hello. I'm a 23-year-old man. Today I was adding recently delivered items to the computer system, pricing and putting them on the shelves to sell. He came into the store initially and explained, "Wow, you are still working on the packages? You really need to speed it up. You are always so slow." I just nodded and continued working, doing my best to speed up my process, but it got way worse. There was this large bag of toys that came in, and I did my usual routine of adding it to the computer and stocking. My boss, about an hour later, calls me to the back of the store where most of the co-workers and co-owners are hanging about and starts and asks, "Where is the display for the toys that came in?" I told him I didn't see a display within the packaging it came in. My boss then said, "You probably cut it up and threw it out." The fuck wrong with him? Like, calm down, sir, calm down. I started to explain how I stopped many displays today and how I didn't understand how I could miss it. And he stands up and gets closer to me. He looks at my fellow coworker and says, "Are you related to him? Is everyone in the family born slow?" Now, what the fuck is wrong with this boss? Parking lot. That's why I would have told him, meet me outside in the parking lot. Because why you talking to me like this? The fuck? I was frankly hurt by this, but tried to speak up. I don't have a stuttering issue, but I guess I stuttered, and he started to mock my stutter, going da 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 da, exaggerating my stutter pretty much, all in front of my coworkers and the co-owners. It was very relentless, and I felt powerless. Sad. I felt like the mocking lasted like 5 whole seconds. I was so stunned and hurt, I took a moment and stepped outside. After a few minutes, I went back in and finished my shift. During the shift, I hear him constantly and loudly praising another coworker, almost intentionally, but I can't say for sure. I'm really hurt by all this. I've been only working in this job for about a month. I haven't missed a day. I'm reliable. Sure, maybe I'm not the fastest or smartest guy out there, but this really hurt my relationship and my comfort around my boss, who I really liked prior to this. I feel very demoralized more than ever now to come into work and do my best. Also, this is a small shop of about 7 employees, no HR or anything, so I'm not sure what to do. Any advice would be great. Now, my advice to you is to quit and find another job, or find another job and once you do, quit. Either way, the outcome is for you to quit. Quit. You only been there for a month? Yeah, find another job ASAP. No job or boss or manager or supervisor will ever make me feel powerless like you said this boss made you feel. And then he had the nerve to mock you in front of the coworkers. Oh no, sir. There's no respect there at all. No job is worth losing your self-esteem or dignity over. You could be doing your very best and still be made to feel like you're not doing anything. You're only 23. It's bigger and better out there, I promise you. So move on. Find another job. Get the hell out of there. And next. And we have our next Reddit out loud. And it says, "Am I the asshole for not allowing my cousin to take home food?" Well, let's see. We had a large 95th birthday for my grandmother. Shout out to your grandmother. Shout out to her for making 95 years old. My mom and I chipped in with another uncle and one of his kids to have it catered to. It was around about $700, so we each gave around $175 each. One of my cousins, Shannon, who always pulls this, brought to-go containers for her husband and his 2 kids. We stopped her from taking anything, and she told her she didn't help buy any food. She can't take any food home. She offered me $10 because that's all she had, and my other cousin said if she wanted to split the cost with those who paid it, it is around $87.50. Then maybe she could take some stuff home. She complained that she got grandma a gift, and that was clearly something from the Dollar Tree, and was it was crying about how she told her hubby she would bring him back something. We told her she couldn't because if there are any leftovers, they go to Granny first and those who paid. Shannon left mad, and a couple of my family members said that was cheap of us, but I pointed out that Granny is 95 years old and she could eat the leftovers for a few days and relax because the food was her birthday present, not Shannon's. In the end, I only took home enough salad for lunch for the next day because most of the food was eaten and had a few things were put back for Granny to enjoy for the birthday dinner. Woo! Us, my kin, my black folk, we love us a good to go plate from a barbecue party or a little get together. We do. But no, you're not the asshole for that. I see nothing wrong with you stopping your cousin from overloading her to go plates. Because that's exactly what she was going to do. She was going to fill them bitches up. The ones who paid for the catering gets to go plates first. If there are any leftovers after that, everybody else comes next. I don't see nothing wrong with that. If the husband and two kids wanted something to eat, they should have come to the party, and it's just that simple. We are in a different time now. Inflations are high and food doesn't cost the same like it did before. We only make enough food, really for the people that's going to be at the party. Not enough food for everybody to eat and to take home. We don't make that much food. Not. And what's crazy is how some of the family members want to call you cheap when they didn't even put in on the food. So who's really cheap? You feel me? I would have done the same thing. Stopped her right at the door like, not today. That's all I got for that one. And next. And our next Reddit Out Loud says, my boyfriend wants to do a lie detector test. Am I wrong to be upset about it? Well, let's see. My boyfriend and I have been together for around 6 years. We have one toddler and one baby on the way. We have had issues in the past, of course, on both of our parts, but we have had always sorted through it. We've been broke up for a few times. We even broke up for a few times last year and ended up reconciling, and our relationship has been good until now. Accusing me and asking to get a lie detector test. In 2022, he went to jail for a month. In that time, he thinks I cheated on him. He won't let it go, and it's been brought up a few times already. I usually get Brazilian waxes, and I had gotten one done while he was in jail. This isn't unusual either. He claims that I only got one while he was gone to cheat on him. I did not cheat on him, nor talk to anyone else in that time. I had our son, and I was caring for him most of the time. When would I even have the time, first of all? I would like to add, while he was in jail, his ex contacted him on Instagram asking him why he texted her. I had his login on my phone, which is why I saw it. I also found out a month before he turned himself in that he was paying for the Tinder app for the premium package or whatever. Anyways, fast forward to today, he asked me to take a lie detector test because he simply can't get over the fact I went to go get a wax while he was in jail. But yet, I didn't bring up the stuff I found out while he was in jail. I have no problem doing it, but I don't want to be with him after this. I'm currently 8 months pregnant, and he wants to put me through the stress of taking a lie detector test, making me feel like I'm such a bad person. I'm just so sad, and I've been crying all day over this. I didn't do anything, and I wish I wasn't being accused of this or being put through a lie detector test. I don't feel like our relationship would ever be the same after this. I'm saying, don't take no lie detector test. Pack your bags and grab your child and get the fuck up out of there. If he don't believe you, that's on him. You really don't have to prove anything to nobody. He probably won't even believe the test if it came back to be true on your part. Taking a lie detector test is asking for too much for me. And it just seems like some type of control. He's always causing you all this stress, got you crying, got you feeling sad all the time, really just breaking you down all the while you being pregnant. Leave that NIGGA. Niggas was focused on you so much so you won't focus on them or worry about the bullshit that they doing. They try to make you feel like you doing wrong, have you question yourself instead of them, but you already know he's no good because you have the proof. Bring that shit out to the open. Ask him why he's messaging his ex on Instagram. Ask him why he got this Tinder account, the premium package at that. Put all that shit out on the table. If he's choosing to take a lie detector test, even Though I think it's a bit extreme, have him take one too after exposing all the information that you have. And then leave that nigga. Don't forgive him, ho. Don't be a silly ho, cause that nigga don't mean you no good. And next, and we have our last read it out loud, and it says, "Am I the asshole for threatening to call the police if my friend doesn't return my car?" Well, let's see. A little more info. My wife and I have two vehicles, and mine was just sitting in the driveway for ages. I can't work right now due to multiple back surgeries, so I decided to rent my car to a friend who was struggling for way below the market price. I've known this individual for 20 plus years. They paid for the insurance and for the first month, no problem. But when it came time to pay for the second month, they said that they needed one more week to pay. No worries, I'm an understanding guy. Of course, the day came and went with no payment. I am struggling financially, and they know this. Anyways, I gave them an ultimatum that they needed to either pay for the month or return the car so I can use it or sell it. The deadline for the ultimatum is tonight, and I haven't heard anything. Would I be the asshole if I threatened to report the car stolen in order to have it returned in or get my money? I was trying to do someone a favor and feel as though they are taking advantage of my caring nature. Any advice is appreciated. Side note, I am a chronic people pleaser who hates conflict. Doing this would be very uncomfortable for me, but I don't know what other recourse I have. Yes, you do. You're a people pleaser, so you don't want to do it. So, of course, you're going to wait it out. But I just want you to know that sometimes friendships do come to an end. Sometimes friendship doesn't always last forever and ever. I don't think you'll be the asshole if the last resort you have is to call the police and report the car stolen to get it back. They're leaving you no other choice. Think of it as a form of repoing the car. They're not following the agreement you have, so you have no other choice but to repossess your car. Go on to get your car back. They know you have had multiple back surgeries and you can't work right now. They know you're going through a financial hardship and you only rented out the car for money. They know all of this and still they're not helping you while you're helping them. It's crazy that you can understand what they're going through and they're not understanding you and everything that you're going through. This is why you can't help out some friends because, they'll take advantage of you and they'll use you. If you're ready to lose that 20-year-old friendship, then, call and report your car stolen so you can get it back. But you got to think about everything that comes behind you doing that. Your friend could possibly go to jail, which would make the situation worse. And, who knows? You could either, do that or just wait it out. You like to please people, so of course you're going to wait it out and wait it out and wait it out. But if you want your shit back ASAP, you're going to hit on the people. Doop, 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 911, hey, I'm ready to report my car stolen. I don't know, the choice is up to you. And that's all I have to say on that one. And that's all we have for Read It Out Loud. That's all I got to say. I thank y'all for tuning in to the early way. And if you haven't, like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm going to catch y'all next time.